Here we go again, y'all. They're putting a monument up for Emmett Till and his mother, Mamie. Wouldn't give these two any kind of justice, but will give them a monument. Allowed the murderers to walk free. Carolyn Bryant made it to 88 years old, and they never tried to bring anyone involved in Emmett Till's murder to justice. And then they gave him a lynching law. Do you know if Emmett Till was alive, he would not even be able to use the law that's named after him? A law that he couldn't even use. You know, whenever there are any lynchings going on, what do they always say? Suicide, suicide, suicide. They do that because they don't want any federal charges. We know why they do it. But this is an insult, y'all. We don't need any monument. If you want to give something to the family, give them the restitution that they deserve. We're going to always remember Emmett Till. You know why? Because we will never let his story die. You leave that up to us, the community that he came from. We will keep his memory alive. And the next generation will know about him too. A monument, now give this family the justice and restitution they deserve. I don't need to stare at a monument of two people that never had anybody within the politics of the US or law enforcement to come to their aid and make sure everything was done right. I mean, look, you already got monuments up for Emmett Till, and what do? They deface it, they shoot at it. We've seen what they have done to his marker down there in Mississippi. So, what is this? Another monument for them folks to deface? So I guess the election year is coming, and they got to get off their butts and act like they really care when we know you don't. So Biden is going to establish a national monument honoring Emmett Till next week. This week, actually. And his mother will also be part of the monument. So President Joe Biden plans to name a new national monument next week. Emmett Till, a White House official, told CNN. Teenager who was brutally murdered in 1955 have galvanized the civil rights movement. Okay, okay. So if Emmett Till would have lived, y'all, if he would have lived, he would have been 82 years old. Emmett could have been married, had his own children, grandchildren. He was robbed out of his life from a she devil that had longevity. Sure didn't deserve it, but she did. Her butt is the one that should have been rotting in a grave a long time ago. So, we know when Carolyn Bryant, her brother in law, and her husband, they were all acquitted within an hour by an all white jury. And then did interviews and admitted that they did this to Emmett Till and would do it again. And Carolyn Bryant, there's also evidence of her changing her story about what happened. I don't believe nothing Carolyn Bryant said. I really don't. Back when I was a teenager, our public library here had the actual audio of the trial in Mississippi. And I listened to it and I got to the point in it where I had to turn it off. But when Carolyn Bryant got up on the stand, her whole testimony was, well, the N word did this, and then the N word did that, and then the N word said this, and then that was how she did her whole testimony. As soon as Carolyn Bryant started talking, y'all, on that audio, I instantly knew she was lying. I listened to her babble through that testimony and did not believe one single word that came out of her mouth. Not one thing. If anybody was undeserving on this earth, it was her. So Emmett Till and his mother, Mamie Till-Mobley, will have a national monument, and it will be in the state of Illinois and Mississippi. You can already know, like I said, they already deface his marker down there in Mississippi. You're just giving them one more thing to deface. That's all. Okay. So we know Emmett Till was from Illinois and he died in Mississippi, visiting his family over the summer. And what should have been just a fun visit that summer and then return back home to his mother ended in tragedy. And, it just goes over his mangled body in the coffin. And the state of Mississippi had the audacity to tell this woman to put her son in the ground and don't even have a funeral. Who the hell are you to tell someone what to do with their own child? Are you out of your mind? I don't blame her for making the decision that she did. She said she wanted an open coffin so they could see just what these animals in Mississippi did to her son. I don't blame her. But that's the audacity of the demon. They think they're going to bark orders at you and you're actually going to do it. So Biden administration really sucks, y'all. The only thing we have gotten from them is a monument and a speech from Kamala down in Florida over the Black History curriculum. Do you think those are good things in comparison to a crime bill and all kinds of bells and whistles for immigrants? A Juneteenth, and some of them are sitting around and believe they done did something big. You ain't done shit. Give us our reparations. Give restitution to the Till family. That's how you make it right. But all these monuments and markers and everything you're doing don't add up to a hill of beans. Reparations is the only thing that will suffice. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.